Gotta keep on breathing if you wanna make sense of it all. We will not fall.
Okay, so just using 2 blocks for our practice today, having them placed down on your mat, preparing for a supported fish. If you prefer, you can, of course, use your bolster, which is a little bit more of a comfortable option. But I do want you to kind of feel something in the spine. So 1 block goes on its highest level, that's to support the back of the head, and then the other one on its medium or its lowest level. Medium is good because that goes down through the center of the spine. Yeah, perfect. And the shoulder blades can then rest either side. So just slowly letting yourself come back onto that central block, making sure it's not digging in at any point, and then making sure the head is supported and the neck is long. Legs can be straight along the mat. They can be soles of the feet together in butterfly, or maybe feet go wide and knees drop in towards one another. So find what works for you today with the legs. Arms, just let the chest open, shoulders roll over and downwards, cascading down towards the mat, and the arms out to the side with the palms face up. So keeping the eyes open for a moment, just take a soft gaze above you at a single point, blurring out the peripheral vision, focusing on that single point. Taking a nice deep breath in and out. Then your next exhale, just gently soften the lids down, closing the eyes, relaxing the area around the forehead, the temples, and the eyelids. Softening the area through the jaw and the teeth. And taking a little swallow just to clear the mouth, clear the throat. And relaxing through the chest and the upper back here, really making sure that nothing is digging in underneath you. So you feel held, you feel supported, but you're starting to feel the upper back and the chest really opening, expanding. And just notice what it's like to breathe here with that, supported back bend in this supported fish posture. Letting go of your day so far. Letting go of any distractive or intrusive thoughts. And letting this practice be one of compassion and equanimity for you today. So bringing yourself back into balance, back into harmony through the heart chakra, through the Anahata of love and kindness for yourself. And as you continue to let those breaths flow effortlessly and freely, let your intention for practice rise up from your heart space. Letting anything come as it resonates with you of the theme. And being guided through the practice today, through your heart space. Thinking more of softness and courage rather than forcing or strength. A deep breath in, and then the next exhale, let that sigh out through the mouth. Another breath in through the nose. Nice, long, slow, deep breath. Full expansion of the body and torso. And just exhale, sigh it out. And then flip the palms over by the side of the body. If you've got butterfly, you might want to use the hands to lift the knees together, just placing the soles of the feet parallel with the knees and the hips. And then bringing the elbows back underneath the shoulders. So you really pull those elbows back underneath you. Press into the palms and the forearms to lift the head and the neck, looking along the body between the knees. And you're still supported here, but what you can do again is bring those elbows back so that you start to lift yourself away from the block, opening up just a little bit more through the chest. Nice. And then gently roll over, take the blocks away, and roll all the way down onto a flat back. Or when you come down, spread out the rib cage. So spread out the shoulder blades, making sure that the whole of the upper back is really nice and spread out now. And then take those steady breaths, expanding the rib cage out to the sides, the front, the back, like an accordion. And the softness of your exhale releases any tension, lets go of tightness in the body. Joints, muscles, softening out. As you inhale, lift the arms up above the head, reach the fingers back behind you. Maybe the arms come down to the mat. Stretch the legs away, point the toes. Big, 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 big stretch. And then exhale, sweep the arms around, gently bend the knees in and draw the knees to the chest, lengthening down through the tailbone, spreading across the pelvis. And just hug the knees in here. The hands might be just resting on top of the shins, thighs resting on top of the belly, and lengthen out through the neck here. Again, take those nice, long, deep, slow exhales, releasing through the lower back. And then take the fingertips to the top of the shins as you gently guide the knees outwards, just circling into the hips, getting a little bit of hip mobility into the socket. Noticing any clicks, crunches, any grinding there, or nice freedom of movement, a well-oiled machine, and circle the other way. And then just place the soles of the feet back down. So toes are pointing forward. Heels just underneath the knees, quite close to the buttocks. And let's take our arms into cactus here. So we spread the shoulder blades apart, elbows come nice and wide, and see if you can reach the backs of the hands down, maybe gently pressing into the wrists. So we're not allowing the fingertips to curl up. We're trying to space out the hands, space out the wrists here. So really pressing into the feet, pressing into the backs of the hands. We're going to gently lift the hips up into a low bridge and then gently roll down. Lifting up as you inhale, sucking belly to spine, and then exhale, roll it down. So really it's only from the base of the rib cage to the tailbone that we're lifting. So we're keeping the shoulder blades nice and planted here. Now we can go a little bit further. So start to drive the knees forward, lengthening through the thighs, and then keep those shoulder blades spread out. Neck is long, face is up towards the sky, come up into bridge, and then lower it down. If you need to bring the hands back by the body, please do so. and all the way down. So again, roll up, tailbone, lower back, middle back, upper back. Oh, the shoulders start to come off, lengthening the neck, and roll it down. One more of those. We're going to lift up and stay. Find the breath. Gazing up towards the sky. Pressing back to the hands down. And then slowly, 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 really slowly, micro slowly. Upper back comes down. Shoulders start to spread out a little bit more. Rib cage starts to come down. The hips are still lifting. We're curling through the spine. Lower back comes down. Pelvis comes down. Tailbone comes down. And then we release our hands back by the body and roll those knees right and left. Just a gentle release through the hips, through the spine, into those reclined twists. Go right and left once more. And this time, take the legs over to the right, roll over onto the right hip, and gently bring yourself up to seated. Take time. No rush. Good. And let's swing the legs around behind us, coming into our tabletop position. So finding our tabletop, we're going to work through the spine rather than focus on the pelvis. So thinking about the rounding of that upper back in cat pose and that opening of the chest and the squeezing of the shoulder blades in cow pose. So our exhale is for cat and our inhale is for cow. Again, thinking of the shoulders, upper back, middle back, rib cage, chest, shoulders. And coming to the practice always from a place of loving kindness. Last time we roll it up into cat pose, pulling navel to spine, rounding across the shoulder blades, and then release back into child's pose. Soften the hips back to the heels. Maybe the arms come underneath the head. Maybe they stretch away from you, letting the chest melt down and the forehead coming to a block or to the mat. Take a moment to breathe through the back body, feeling the breath expanding from the rib cage, from the sides and the back. Allowing the lungs resting on the thighs to cushion the heart. Inhale, come back up into tabletop. Lifting up our left arm, we're coming to thread the needle. Open, open, open the chest to the side. Thread that arm through and under, keeping the hips nice and high above the knees. Reach the arm away, maybe pulling down onto the shoulder there. And looking towards those left fingers, you might release the right arm forward. Just give a little bit more of an opening in the right side of the body here. We're pressing down through our feet. Our feet aren't kind of relaxed. They are active. So we're lengthening our toes away, pressing into the ankles, pressing into the shins, lifting up the hips, rotating through the spine, pulling navel in. From here, the right hand comes back, gives a little press into the mat, bring yourself back up. We continue to open up that left side of the body by pressing the back of the hand away and bring it back down. Right arm reaches up, open, 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 and thread it through and under. Looking towards the hands, and then maybe the left arm reaches itself forward. Again, press into ankles, shins. Lifting hips, pulling navel in, rotating from the rib cage on the left side of the body. And then inhale, bring that arm back to support you. Press up and open up the right side once more. Press the back of the hand away and bring it down. Let's come off the knees. Slide yourself forward all the way down into prone. Belly comes down, big toes together. And just relax. Take all the pressure away from the lower back, the hips, the pelvis, the glutes. Release. Give yourself a little shimmy and a shake, rolling those hips from left to right. And as we roll the pelvis here, the legs move, the thighs get a little bit of a massage, the knees are soft, the calves are relaxed, and the ankles are soft too. So from here, let's widen those legs hip width. We're pressing into the tops of the feet. Our hands come out into cactus. So our forehead is down onto the mat. We're pressing into feet, pressing actively into the legs. We're going to lift up in our cactus lift. So maybe a couple of inches away from the mat. Broaden across the back. Navel is pulling back to the spine. And lower. So inhale, we lift. Exhale, hold. Inhale, lift a little more. Exhale, lower. Let's do one more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, hold. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Let's sweep those arms back behind us. Take them to the base of the spine and turn onto your left cheek. So let the shoulders rest down towards the mat. They kind of cascade again forwards underneath you. We're going to interlace those fingers and we're going to press the knuckles back towards the heels as we pull the shoulder blades together. Roll the shoulders away from the ears, press up and lift. Let's stay and hold. If you can, I find this very tricky to do, is squeeze the palms together whilst you're doing those knuckle presses, but I find that very, very hard. So we're pressing into the tops of the ankles here. Legs are active, nice, beautiful. Crown of the head reaches forward. We are still breathing. And lower it down to the right cheek. Hands come by the side of your body and soften out. Sway the hips, relax, let them rock left and right. Hands come to the top corners of your mat. You're going to come up into a straight-armed seal. You can widen the feet as wide as your mat if you like. That releases across the pelvis and the lower back, reducing that tightness. And you don't have to come too high, lifting up into seal, so staying and holding. Opening the chest, dropping through the belly. Beautiful, really nice. Glutes are engaged here. Shoulders away from the ears. Heels aren't rolling in towards one another. You're pushing yourself away from the mat. Nice and slowly, roll it down. Head to the back of the hands. Big toes touch. Heels fall out. Rock into those hips. Release everything. And then let's place the hands underneath the shoulders. Roll the shoulders here. So we're going to roll the shoulders up to the ears and down the back. They come forward, up, down, and around. Get a nice little shoulder massage and really feel this, like the head might be resting down a little bit, or you might be lifting it off the head but we are getting into the shoulder blades. Good. Let's release, press up into tabletop. And just notice here now how your cat and cow starts to feel. So as you come into your cow, you might get a little deeper back bend. As you slowly release into that cat pose, take this one steady because you're coming into a back bend, a forward bend or flexion after a number of extensions. So again, just find that cat and cow. That automatically feels better for my spine. And then move the hips left and right. Head goes left, hips go right. Little S bend in through the spine. Circle the hips forward and back. Get the whole body involved. Maybe creating some figure of 8 shapes. Head, neck, shoulders, spine, hips. Now reverse the figure of 8. Oh, that's always a challenge. And let's come back into wide leg child's pose this time. Bring the elbows wide as well. Hands come together and the thumbs come to the nape of the neck. So you're spreading the knees wide, spreading the elbows wide, pressing the thumbs into the nape, lengthening the neck and stretching through the spine, dropping chest down towards the mat. From here, release the hands down to the mat. Palms are face up. Try and pull the thumbs towards the outer edges of your mat. That is the challenge. My thumbs definitely aren't down to the mat here. So backs of the hands are down, pulling the thumbs away. Oh, that gives a nice external rotation through the forearms, through the biceps, and then flip the palms over, pull the hands back to the knees, roll up slowly through the spine. Come to that wide kneel. And then let's come into a little reverse prayer here. Hands sweep back behind you. Maybe the hands come to the base of the spine, or maybe the hands come together between the shoulder blades. Let's take 5 breaths here, maybe closing the eyes, softening down the facial expression. Give yourself a smile. Corners of the mouth turn up slightly. And you can feel when you turn the corners of the mouth up, the eyes smile with you. And release the hands, bring the knees together. Let's go through our kneeling sun salutations quite quickly here. So sitting tall and exhale, chin to chest, slide it out all the way to the mat, heart pose. Inhale, forearm plank. Exhale, lower down into Sphinx. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, roll down, hands go wide, come underneath the rib cage, press back, cat pose. Keep going, child's pose. Inhale, roll up all the way, hands come to the base of the spine to support you for that baby camel. Open the gaze to the sky, pull the elbows together. Nice and slowly, hands come down, grab the blocks if you need to, bringing the right leg forward for your winged dragon. Opening out the foot, opening out the chest here. So keeping lifted, shoulders are nice and lifted. We're dropping down through the hips and pulling navel in. If you want to, come down onto the forearms, always an option to come down onto blocks as well. Pulling right shoulder down. From here, we stay down onto the forearm if you like, or come back up to the palm. Right hand gives that right knee a little press as you open up the chest to the right side. So gaze comes to the sky. That's it. So you can stay down on your left palm if you like. Yeah, that's it. Give that right knee a little press open. And here we release the hand all the way back behind us. So the fingertips reach towards the toes. Palm is facing to the right side of your mat. And then maybe you catch the foot. You can bend at the knee, bringing that foot in towards you. Or exhale. My thigh is tight today. I went for a little walk yesterday. Exhaling, dropping hips down. Nice. And release. Bring it back. Let's find a half splits here. Digging in the heel on the right hand side of your mat. Exhale, fold it forward. Left hand stays down on a block or to the mat. Right hand comes to the sacrum, opening out into a half splits twist. Reaching the arm up towards the sky if it feels good. Nice. Palm faces the same way you do. That's it, towards your window. And hand comes down. We place the palms. We secure our tabletop there as we use the strength through the core to lift the heel, sweeping the leg all the way back around behind us into tiger. Catching the foot back behind you if it's available, lifting heart, lifting chest, looking forward. Press into right palm, left shin. And then exhale. Take it back, child's pose. And roll up through the spine. Back of the mat. Kneeling. Ready for the left. How are we doing? Chin to chest. Exhale. Roll forward. Heart pose. Lift the hips. Inhale. Forearm plank. You can tuck the toes on this one if you like. Exhaling down. Inhaling Sphinx. Exhaling, roll down. Hands come to the rib cage. Press back. Tabletop. Cat pose. Keep exhaling, child's pose. Inhaling to the back of the mat. Hands slide to the base of the spine for camel. Bring yourself center. Hands come down. Left leg forward. Winged dragon on this side, using the blocks as you need to. Open up the chest, shoulders pull back, looking forward. From here, making your adjustments as you need to, coming down onto the palms, the forearms or blocks, making sure you're letting that left shoulder drop just as much as the right. This is tight this side. And then releasing to the palm, or to the forearm, opening up that left knee, left rib cage, opening up the left shoulder, looking to the sky or looking down at the hand. Releasing left arm back behind you, fingertips reach towards the toes. And then maybe catching that right foot. Quad stretch, open chest. Release the foot, let it float down. Hands come back to center. You pull back into your half splits position. Dig the heel in on the outer edge of your mat and exhale. Fold it forward. Release into that left hamstring. From here, right hand comes down. We take the left hand to the sacrum, give it a little bit of love there as you rotate the chest from the top of the rib cage there, releasing that left arm up if it feels good. Hands come down. We ground through the palms. We lift the heels, sweeping that right leg all the way back behind us, opening up the hip here, opening up the chest, and coming into tiger pose. As you inhale, lift. And release. Let's take it back through child's pose. Extend the arms forward, melt the chest and heart to the thighs. Let the head soften. And then roll up through the spine all the way to the back of the mat. Take a moment to pause and breathe. I'm going to come off of the knees in a moment, but just take a moment to see how you feel. Good. Let us bring the hands forward, tuck the toes, lift up into our downward facing dog and pedal out. Again, coming to inversions and, standing postures with loving kindness, honoring the body, releasing a heel at a time. Feel the stretch from the heel, Achilles, calf, back of the knee, hamstring, all the way up into the glutes and the spine. Keep padding out, getting those toes a little bit more mobile. And then releasing as you exhale, pressing chest back towards the thighs, lengthening the spine, ears between the biceps, crown of the head presses towards the floor. Slow, steady breaths. And then nice and slowly walking the feet all the way to meet the hands and walking towards the front of your mat. Take a nice little bent-legged half lift here. So hands come to the shins or to the floor. Lift the spine. Get the space away from the belly and the thighs. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen as you open chest. And exhale, melt it deeply over bent legs. Let the head, neck, body release into that fold. And then sway out the elbows from side to side. So we've done a lot of back bends. Coming into some forward folds now. Release the hands down as you straighten through the back of the legs as much as is comfortable. We're going to keep the left hand down, keeping the left leg bent, straightening through the right and bringing the hand onto the sacrum. So left leg bent, left hand down. That's it. Straighten right leg. Look up towards your shoulder and beyond. Bring the right arm down, change sides. Right leg bends, left leg straighten, and lift up. Pull navel in, open up the shoulder, open up the chest. From here, release it forward. Bring the hands to the base of the spine, interlace the fingers, let the head drop, and maybe the arms come up and over the head. Good. Deep breaths. Try and release the tightness in the shoulders. Nice and slowly bring the hands back. Hands come down and roll up through the spine. Coming all the way up to stand. Am I going to bang my head on my roof? Almost. Open the hands out to your mountain pose. Find Tadasana. Move the feet as you need to. And just reach the hands to the floor. Feel the chest open, expansive. Feel the upper back spreading across space. So let's come into very, very soft lunge flow. How are we doing? Good. Great. So hands come into the heart center. Take a moment to feel the thumbs at the heart space in the center of the chest. Breathe in and breathe out. Let's open the arms up into cactus. We're going to press the pelvis forward and press the elbows back. Exhale, comes back into the heart space. Do that twice more. Inhale, cactus. Little back bend, little chest lift. Bring it back into the heart. Nice. Last time. Inhale, lift, and exhale. Hands come back. The arms sweep down and up, lifting up into your reach to the sky. Salute. Exhale. Melt and fold with bent knees. Let the chest ripple down. Inhale, ripple to your half lift. Exhale, bend the knees, step back, right leg, find a low lunge. So releasing to the top of the feet. Again, you can use blocks if you need to. We're going to bring the hands into cactus here. So sinking hips forward and just press the elbows back, pulling the shoulder blades together. So see how far those elbows can press back away from the line of the shoulders. And then from here, we're going to reach them all the way forward, rounding the shoulders, maybe reaching the fingertips towards one another in front of you. Pull it back, maybe a little back bend, and reach it forward. So the exhale is your reach, your inhale is your open. Last time, reach it forward. And as you do that, you bring the hands back into the heart center. Take a nice, gentle, twisted lunge here. Elbow to knee, opening up through the heart space. Reaching out the arms, widening across the chest. That's it, nice. And the hand goes to the back thigh. We're going to do a revolve, twisted lunge there, looking towards the back foot. Nice, dropping hips forward, reaching those fingers up and away from back the head. Yeah. Hand comes down on the inside of the foot. And as you sweep the arm up towards the sky, you tuck the back toe and really open up into the right side of the chest. That's it. From here, we're going to bend into the elbow, half cactus. This is where it gets just a little bit strong, but you can always drop the knee if you need to. So elbow to opposite wrist. Open it back up, half cactus. That's it. Nice. Good. Elbow to wrist. Half cactus. Oh, it's a little bit deeper today. And elbow to wrist, half cactus to finish off. Hand comes down, and we step this back into a plank to find our connecting vinyasa, whether that's chaturangas, up dogs, or what I'm doing, knees, shin, chest, cobra. And exhale, tabletop, child's pose, or downward facing dog. Let's find 5 breaths. Deep, slow breaths. Remember, heart-centered practices tend to get the heart working. It's a cardiovascular practice. We get the air into the lungs, the air element. Great for circulation. Nice and slowly looking forward, walking the feet all the way to the hands at the front of your mat. Exhale, take a full fold. Inhale, half lift and lengthen away. Exhale, fold and roll up through the spine. Hands come all the way out to the side of you. Lift up through an upwards salute. And then hands come back into the heart center. Great, beautiful. Preparing for the other side. So again, we've got those 3 cactus openings. So we're going to press the elbows back as we breathe in. Exhale, close it all in. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Last time, inhale, open. Exhale, close. Hands sweep down, all the way up. And this is where we swan dive. Straight or bent legs, your choice. Inhale, ripple up, half lift. This time, we send the right leg back into your low crescent lunge, using blocks as you need to, of course. Making yourself comfortable on that mat, bringing the arms back into that cactus pose, opening up the chest, maybe a little back bend. Good. Exhale, bring the arms forward. We're rounding through the shoulders, the spine, maybe the fingertips meet. Open it up, chest lifts to the sky, hips drive forward. Exhale, reach. Inhale, open. Last and final time there. Exhale, reach. And inhale, open. The hands sweep round into your prayer position. Right elbow to left knee, or depending which leg you've got in front. Twisted prayer lunge. Good. Pulling those thumbs in towards the sternum rather than the armpit. Opening the chest, opening the arms. Stretch fingertips away, forward and back. And then the hand comes to the back thigh, sinking hips forward, reaching top hand up and over the head. Twisting that chest towards the front bent leg. The hand comes down to the mat. You can tuck the back toe here. Oh, that feels nice, coming off of the knee. Sweeping the arm up towards the sky. You come into that full twisted lunge there. Then we half cactus the arm. So pulling the elbow down and elbow to wrist 3 times. Inhale, it comes open. Exhale, you fold. Inhale, open. Exhale, fold. And then the hand comes down. We frame the foot. We step back into plank and lower through our connecting vinyasa of choice. And exhale, tabletop child's pose, downward facing dog. Let's find 5 breaths once more. And then from here, lower the knees. Take a moment to take the arms back towards the feet. Chest comes to thighs, head to mat. Find your child's pose as you breathe out. Take a moment to notice the breath again. So the lungs are resting on the thighs. The heart rate's probably increased. Breathe deeply through the expansion of the rib cage of the sides and the back body. And then nice and slowly, hands come forward to give yourself that little help as you roll up through the spine. Coming all the way up to kneeling. Nice deep exhale. When you get there, crown of the head reaches towards the sky. You feel nice and open across the front, open down the sides, and open across the back. Let's give the shoulders a little shake, a little circle. Ooh. Let's give the arms a shake, the wrists a squeeze. And the interesting thing is that when you kind of do this squeezing motion, it's like the heart beating and pumping. So we've just done a bit of wrist work as well anyway. Give the hands a shake, swing the legs around in front of you. And come towards the front of your mat, sitting nice and tall. And bring the hands back by the body here. So this is Dandasana, our staff pose. So the wrists are facing, fingertips are facing forward, wrists are down on the mat. We're pulling the elbows in and we're not flaring the rib cage. So notice how my rib cage is flared there. I'm going to pull that rib cage in, long spine, open chest. Close the eyes, find staff pose. Feet are flexed, legs are active. Breathe through the whole of the torso here. It's an active, energized posture. Navel pulls gently in towards the spine. Nice and slowly, the hands release from the mat. They sweep back behind you. They come up towards the sky above the head. And then we're going to reach into a forward fold from here. So stretch up and fold from the hips. Hinge it forward, trying to keep the chest nice and open. So lengthening the spine here. You might not go too far. That's it. Pull the shoulders away gently from the ears, open chest. Good. Creating space between the belly and the thighs. Give yourself a little wiggle room. Let the flesh from the sit bones release. You may be able to come centimeter, inch further forward, bending into the knees. Of course, if those hamstrings and spine feel exceptionally tight. Hold here, breathe steady. From here, we're going to relax everything, relax the legs, the feet, the body, the hands, soften the head and the neck as the forehead releases to the knees. Pull navel gently back towards the spine. And then nice and slowly roll up. As we roll up, we roll onto our left hip and we pull our right leg back behind us for our half hero. What I like to do is give that calf a little roll out so that I can then rest the thigh on the inside. And if you need to sit on a cushion or block here, you can do. So from here, we're going to go back towards the back of our mat. So you can bring the hands back, seeing how far you can lower yourself down. Maybe you come onto a cushion, maybe a bolster. We're trying to lengthen out that right knee. That's it. And trying to relax into the right hip flexor, right glute. Maybe you continue. Maybe you go down onto your back or your shoulders. We're still pulling down left knee, left thigh. Maybe, always an option, to go deeper in any of these postures is always optional. Remember that. Opening the arms to cactus. So spreading those shoulder blades as much as you can here. It's a back bend as well. So remember, we got that quad working and engaging and releasing through our monkey twists when we're in our winged dragons. Excuse me. And from here, we're going to bring ourselves back as we got in. So hands come back, taking hold of the foot if you need to, or pressing up onto the elbows. And sit tall. Oh, how's that feel? Sweep the leg around. A little tight there. Yeah. And change sides. So left leg wraps around into the bent knee, opening out the calf, sitting tall, dropping both sit bones if you can. And then slowly lowering yourself towards the back of the mat. And you might notice subtle differences as you change to the other side. Nice. Coming down, spreading the shoulder blades if you can. Onto the mat, maybe opening the arms into cactus, backs of the hands down. So we're spreading the shoulder blades, trying not to pinch those shoulder blades together. Crown of the head, back of the head, back of the skull presses down into the mat, neck is long. We are slowly and softly pulling that left knee downwards towards the mat. So the interesting thing about when we compression into the body, so this type of compression through the knee almost certainly stops the blood flow, the oxygenation and the circulation of the body, but it feels amazing when you do release. So bringing the hands back, taking your time to come up, elbows, sit tall. And that nice release as you let the legs stretch out in front of you. Bend the knees, take the feet wide, gently just drop the head forward, pull navel gently into spine, go easy into that forward fold there because you might feel a little bit of tension into the lower back after the back bends of those half heroes. Soften shoulders away from ears. And then sit tall. And just drop the knees over to one side. Give yourself a little twist. Release into that hip. Look as far as you can behind you. You might even see your left or right toe. And then bring back. And then go to the other side. Again, give that hip flexor a little press. Gaze goes as far as you can. Oh, I can see my toe just in the corner of my eye there. And then bring it back. Good. Legs come together. Let's take a nice slow roll down through the spine. Keep the chest nice and open. No caving there. And navel to spine. Spine to mat. Keep it slow. Each and every vertebra comes down. Oh, I collapsed. There's a point, isn't there, where it gets a little bit too hard. And then all the way down, draw the knees in. Interlace the fingers above the shins. Lengthen the spine out. Be aware now of how the back feels. Done a number of back bends, a number of twists, a number of forward folds, a number of side stretches, all into the torso. So give yourself a little massage here. Circle the knees around. Massage into the lower back, the middle back, and the shoulders. You can always massage the shoulders by lifting them up and down and rolling. Circle the knees the other way. And then those hip openers, because most of the practice today is kind of closed hip. We don't do a lot of hip openers in this practice. So opening out, we did a few in the dragon. That's it really. And circle inwards and outwards. So let's extend the legs long. Let's lift the arms up above the head. Let's shuffle the shoulders across to the top right corner of your mat. Coming into your crescent stretch here, your banana asana. So maybe linking that left ankle over the top of the right, catching hold of your left wrist. Really soften into this C shape, noticing the stretch that might come through the left hip, left thigh, left rib cage, all down the left side of the body. Maybe you feel it somewhere else. Try and use the exhale to release the tightness and tension. Breathe in, shuffle the shoulders and the arms back, release the top foot. Take a moment to rest in neutral spine in your Shavasana. Lift the arms up above the head, shuffle shoulders over to the opposite corner of your mat, catching hold of the right wrist maybe, and then looping that right ankle over the left ankle. Again, noticing as we come into the other side, any subtle differences. Breathe in, shuffle shoulders, head back into the center, release the arms by the hips, spread the shoulder blades apart, pull the upper and the middle back downwards, And then open out the legs into Shavasana. Take a moment's rest just in a neutrally aligned spine. And then gently draw right knee in towards the chest. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And as you exhale, let that leg go. Feel the release after the compression, and then squeeze thigh to chest, left side, knee bends. So again, anything that really compresses in together and that sudden release of circulation as you let go. Give the hips a shimmy and a shake that goes into the legs. It massages the calves. It releases into the ankles. The toes are waving. And you're going to lift up the arms for a big, big stretch. And making yourself warm and comfortable, maybe placing a bolster underneath the knees, coming into Shavasana, making sure that you're not going to be disturbed by being too cold, being uncomfortable, and you can lie still for the next remaining minutes of the practice. Most important part is to seal all of the work that you've done. And as we come into our Shavasana, we want to find this balance, this harmony, this equanimity that we've just given ourselves of love, kindness, compassion. And, you know, when we feel that in ourselves, it's so much easier then to share with others. As you now breathe in deeply, sigh out a long, slow, deep exhale, letting go of any remaining tightness and tension you might be holding. Giving yourself a body scan all the way from the toes, right up through the legs, into the hips, into the torso, into the chest, the arms, the fingers, into the neck, into the face, and finally resting at the top of the head. Letting your heart rate settle as you come more into your parasympathetic nervous system. Allowing yourself to rest, re-energize, and repair. And I will let you know when it's time to come back around. Begin to take a few deeper breaths as you bring your awareness back into your surroundings, onto the mat and into the body. Wiggling fingers, wiggling toes, moving wrists, moving ankles. Deepening the breath to inhale and lift the arms up above the head, giving yourself that big, big morning stretch as if you were waking to start your day. Give yourself a big yawn, stretch into the face, and then sweep the hands back around to catch the knees as you breathe out, pulling those thighs in towards the chest, softening through the spine. Gently rolling out, massaging, or gently rolling over to one side. Take your time to return up to a comfortable seat. And just bringing the hands into the heart center, Anjali Mudra. Thumbs just rest at the sternum. The spine is long, the chest and the heart are both open. The mind is clear, calm, serene, and at peace. And just return back to your own personal intention, one of loving kindness, bringing compassion and equanimity into your practice, but also into your heart and into your daily life, and sharing that with everyone else that you meet in your day-to-day. Always thanking yourself, and I thank you. Namaste.